So welcome everyone. My name is Brad Freeman and I am the automation services specialist for our North Texas region. So we up here cover from East Texas through the DFW area, down along 35 into Austin and that area, and then out in our West Tex oil field region as well. So I am talking today about Rockwell's program, the Integrated Service Agreement, and I am going to, well, first divert for a moment and just point out our next several events that we have coming up. Additional Tech Talks. We have the Industrial Cybersecurity webinar is coming up in July. I will also note that we just released the first episode of a cybersecurity podcast series. So those who aren't already following the Reynolds Company podcast, that's called TRC Talks. I highly recommend it. I'm a little biased because I am involved in the audio editing side of that thing, the fun side of the podcast project. And then Rock Live is coming up as well. So there's going to be a lot of great information there as it's a virtual event where we get to dig into the technology side of what we do here. Reach out to one of us on the specialist team or to your account manager to get more details there. Now, again, I said I'm talking about the Integrated Service Agreement this morning, but I'm going to kick off this discussion really by introducing, not myself, but my job title, because this contract, this agreement very much lines up with what I do here at Reynolds. So again, my job title is the Automation Services Specialist. I assist with a variety of programs that we have that all revolve around how do we help you use our products more efficiently. So if you're looking for a tech support contract, I'll work with you on quoting that. If you are looking to have equipment repaired or to set up an ongoing repair program to save you money on the ebb and flow of how you do business through your storeroom with repairs, I can help you with that. If you need to make sure that you have the right spares on site and are trying to figure out the most cost-efficient way to obtain those spares, that's something I can help you with as well. So again, everything that I help out with is how do I support the products that we sell and that you're using. Now that wraps really well into what this agreement looks like, because it is a very diverse agreement where we say, okay, what are all these different ways that we have to help you? And we wrap it into one agreement. So we're simplifying administratively the various ways that we have to help you out. So I'll just go point by point through this slide here. How do we supplement your workforce? Well, like I said, we have tech support contracts. We do on-site training. We do online training. We'll do training at our offices where you come in and visit. But all of those are activities to make sure that your workforce is ready to go. They know what they need to do. They know how to troubleshoot your equipment. They know how to run it well. The next point there is how do we help you optimize our products? So you're using our products to run your facility. How do we help you understand, hey, what's a list of part numbers of everything that we have in the plant? How do we make sure that we have the spares that we need? How do we know what the life cycle status is of this equipment so that we can migrate away from things as they go obsolete? Next, how do we reduce your total cost of ownership? So especially on the services side of things, and repair is a great example of this. There is a line item cost to buy something, and then there's all the soft costs down the road of what it costs to use that in your plant. Like I said, repair is a great example of this. We see repairs all the time from some third-party mom and pop shop that pops open the PLC, figures out the piece that went wrong, puts a new replacement part in and ships it back to you. And then it's got a 35% failure rate. And if your PLC fails again, they say, oh, sorry, that's a different part than what we replaced. If we're looking at that from a transactional standpoint, that might be the cheapest repair that you could get. But if we're looking from a total cost of ownership standpoint, it's going to cost you more in the long run because it's not reliable. As compared to, okay, let's send it out for repair and have the entire PLC tested. Make sure that every part on that unit is ready to go and ship it back to you under full warranty. So then everything I just talked about, again, it's a very wide range there, all adds up to how are we maximizing your facility? How do we help you make sure you have as much uptime as possible and you can rely on your equipment? So now I'm transitioning a little further into, okay, what are we talking about today? The integrated service agreement is an administrative simplification of everything I just talked about. Those are all programs that me and my counterparts can quote for you, can help you set up, can help you with, and you're going to see a lot of different transactions. You're going to see an annual renewal for your repair program. You're going to see your tech support, sorry. You will see an annual renewal for your online training. You will pay per event for in-person training. You will pay every time something breaks and you're sending it out for repair. So there's a lot of different administrative pieces to keeping your plant running well. The integrated service agreement helps us to go, let's look at that broad range of services that we offer and figure out which ones we know you will be using in the coming year. Let's wrap all of that up into one contract and you pay one time for the year. So it gives you some budget stability. It lets you look at a single payment, quarterly payments, monthly payments. That's something that we would work through to try to determine what works best. But you have a fixed budget for your year for all the support activity to stabilize the budget and to help you know when I need something repaired, I'm sending it out and I know it's coming right back. I know it's not going to be a large unexpected cost. As I'm trying to make sure that my workforce is continually learning, I know they'll always have access to online training. When we need to call in for tech support, I know that that's already covered. So it helps really wrap all those things together into one simple payment, one simple program that covers what you need. Today, again, we're going to see so many different items. We're going to see your repairs and next day air exchanges. Something breaks, you need it right away. We'll ship you a new one immediately and you're shipping the broken one back, within 2 weeks. We're going to see field service. So today we've got multiple different products that each of these are going to be dealt with on an as needed basis. And for those customers who are using all these different services, if we're able to bundle all this together, we're able to simplify your administrative costs. And often we're able to reduce your line item costs of several of these things as well. There's a lot of cost savings here to making sure that you have what you need when you need it. So I'm going to walk through now. There's 3 different levels to this program: the Essential, the Enhanced, and the Premier. And this is a very busy slide. I'm going to walk through it fairly quickly, but I just want everyone to be able to see the basics of what is included as we're looking at this. So I'm going to go line item by line item. So first, we've got here on that top line item is 24/7 remote system support. System support is our premier level of our tech support. So you're going to have 24/7 access to calling in, talking to a senior engineer right away. And if you have an open ticket that you have to go and work at the plant and you come back and call in, you're going to be routed back to the same engineer. So you're getting the premier treatment, the white glove treatment, and you have access, again, 24/7. That's going to be based on if you have an existing Tech Connect tech support contract? Great. If not, we'll be quoting a new one. All three levels of this contract have that. Moving on to the next item, an annual repair agreement. So an annual repair agreement is, let's look at what your average repair spend is over the years. You invest that amount upfront for the year, and then that gives you a bank of credit that you can be processing repairs against throughout the year. So you're not having to cut new purchase orders. Now, additionally on that, say you put $10,000 into an annual repair agreement for the year, you will have a credit of $12,000 for the year. So there's a cost savings if you're paying this upfront that you're able to get additional coverage. So no matter which level of this agreement that you decide to pursue, that service is going to be available. Third item that everybody who has this will have is an online dashboard, contracts usage analytics. How many repairs do you have? Are you seeing the same part number being sent out continually? How many open service tickets do you have? You're able to see the details of your team calling in to get help. You can see what it is that's causing issues and hopefully be able to start to address those things. The next item here is field service, and this is optional at the base level. So field service is much like the annual repair agreement, where you would purchase a block of hours that you are then able to use at any time during the year. Now, the advantage to that as well is you are able to use that by the hour. So if you are doing emergency callouts, you've already paid for these hours up front at the standard rate, and you don't have to pay for the additional emergency rates if you're sending somebody out same day or next day. Travel time still applies, etc., but you're not paying the higher rates of having somebody out last minute. So again, that's an optional thing that we can look at adding in, and that's going to be based on what's your average reliance on the Rockwell Field Service team. The next item is the installed base evaluation. This comes with the two higher levels, or we could do one ahead of time to set the stage for this. Now, an installed base evaluation, very simply, is we have a tech come out and walk through your plant. Panel by panel, we're going to be pulling part numbers, and we'll give you that report. Here's the bill of materials for your entire plant. Then, based on that bill of materials, here's your recommended spares for the entire plant. That helps us determine, do you have enough spares? Are you at risk if you go down of not having the right spares and not getting back up right away? So that's good information to help you operate much more efficiently and be able to rely on your equipment for more uptime. If we're looking at the Premier, which again is this top tier version of this integrated service agreement, there will be a particular individual with Rockwell who will be meeting with you quarterly to review your usage. So if we're looking at a large multi-site contract, that's where this tends to make the most sense, to have somebody who's going to be continually walking through with you to help you keep focusing on the right parts of reliability. Lastly, scheduled maintenance. We will have somebody out there twice a year for a 2-day engagement to help you look at where do we have life cycle issues? Where can we start migrating away from obsolete parts? Where do we need to do more proactive preventative maintenance? And just have a regular cadence of being proactive and looking forward to that. Lastly, e-learning is something that we can add to any of these. We have several podcasts. We have several other webinars we've done on e-learning, so I won't go into depth there, but please reach out if you have questions on what that structure looks like. And then the parts management agreement is a program where we can take spare parts that are still owned by Rockwell and have them on site at your facility for quicker access to them without having to invest a large dollar amount to have them on site. Again, that's also an optional for every level. Now, we've talked in theory much so far about, hey, what does this look like, and stabilizing costs, and you have a big repair bill one year and a small one the next year. Well, we went back and took one of our customers who was integrating into this program and looked at their past 5 years, So that's on the left hand of the screen here. Okay, they're paying about $7,000 or $8,000 a year in remote support. Then we look at their repairs. Well, they paid about $8,000 the first year and about $5,000 the second year. And the last year they paid about $15,000. So that's very up and down, very much bouncing all over the place and hard to plan for. And then field labor. Again, that first year they paid $15,000. The second year, $10,000. They have very large chunks going out, and then some years they're not relying on that at all. So when we recommended a 5-year contract for this customer, we said, hey, here is your fixed price per year for the next 5 years, and we will be covering all of that. So that's where we're talking about how do we stabilize your budget and how do we bring in some cost savings by wrapping all those different activities into one. Again, administrative simplification is the phrase that I keep using. We wrap all of that into one. We're able to show some cost savings and help you plan better for what your budget is going to look like. This is a quick snapshot from that online dashboard. I don't want to spend a lot of time digging into the details here. I just wanted to give you at least a quick glance on, hey, what does this look like? How many service tickets do you have open? How many repairs do you have and what part numbers are being repaired frequently? How many repairs do you have per month? Now, this is the high-end part of the dashboard. You can dig way down into the details on each of these. We could go into the service tickets and see who's opening tickets. Are they calling in for support? Are they web chatting for support? What are those topics? And really start to dig in the history there. But all of that information is going to be gathered for you in one location. If we meet with you and we walk through all of what this looks like, here's a basic of what the rollout looks like. The purchase order is issued. You're going to get a welcome email within a day. That email is going to have all your contact information to give to the team. Here's the phone number to call, and here's your authorization number. So when you call in, you give that, they know who you are, and you're getting routed to the right engineers. Within 10 days, 10 business days, 2 weeks, we're going to have a kickoff call. We're going to make sure that everybody at the customer who needs to know about this knows about this, that we know who all the key stakeholders are, so we're getting our information to them. Second, okay, what are the key goals? What is it that you see as a place to save money so that we can help focus on that? And then third, KPIs, key performance indicators. What do you view as the most critical indicator of your success so we can help you focus on that? After that, if we haven't already done an install base evaluation, we'd look at doing one. Again, we'd send a tech, they'd walk through your building, they'd look at part numbers on every control panel in there, and we'd be giving you reports. Here's the bill of materials for your entire plant. Further into that, here's where we have to worry about obsolete product presenting a risk to your uptime. Here's where you might have some basic maintenance issues in some of these panels. We could use better ventilation. We could use better wiring. All of that information given back to you. And then quarterly from there on out, we're going to do business reviews. We're just going to meet with you, probably in a format something like this, only it'll be a little more interactive instead of just me speaking. But we'd walk through the details of that dashboard that I showed you a few slides ago, where we'd look at the details of what's being used and who's using it and what issues are happening to make sure that, again, everyone at your facility is getting the support that they need. So if today you've heard this, it's interested you, you're looking at exploring this, let's start with a discovery meeting. My name is Brad Freeman. I'm here in North Texas. Joe Boudreau is in Louisiana. My counterpart, Andrew Hultgren, is on the Texas Gulf Coast. The three of us are here and available to sit down with you and start talking through, okay, which of these services are you using? Where do you see the value? We'd pull in the account manager. We'd pull in domain experts on particular technologies that you rely on the most. We'd bring everyone together and start walking through, okay, what would this look like for us to formalize an agreement to give you all of the support you need? So again, reach out to us. That's what this team is here for. That's what we're looking forward to doing. And thank you all so much. I know this has been a pretty quick webinar. I like to keep them a little bit shorter. and hopefully just focus on the highlights. And then please, like I said, reach out to us and let us know.